Willie Jeffries Field for the home opener for the South Carolina State Bulldogs at 1-2 as they play host to North Carolina A&T. The Aggies come in at 1-3, and it's an old-fashioned MEAC rivalry between these two. Hello, everybody. I am Tyler Cupp, along with my partner Demetrius Davis. Two former conference rivals going at it, and a long-time rivalry between the Bulldogs and the Aggies.
Well, you know, North Carolina A&T and South Carolina State were in the MEAC for many years together, and North Carolina A&T left to go to the Big South, and now they are actually in the CAA now.
Yeah, so these two teams have met all the way back, dating back to 1924. Key players for today, Karan Prunty. He is one of the best players in the conference, National Player of the Year preseason watch list, two-time selection there, and an All-American.
Well, he's 6'2", 180 pounds, so that means he's long and rangy, and at the DB, I mean, that's probably their best player on defense.
We'll take a look at a key player for South Carolina State, and it is Eric Phoenix. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception through the first 3 games, 500 yards. Good completion percentage there, 63%. He's the straw that serves the drink for the Bulldogs.
Well, Coach Berry takes this guy everywhere he goes. So apparently they have a relationship, and he has some confidence in him and wants him to be at South Carolina State University.
Davis mentioned Coach Berry, and it is a new era for South Carolina State. Many years it was Coach Buddy Pugh, and now it's the Chennis Berry era. As you see him there, coached a long time at Benedict, 27-7 for the Tigers. Now comes up the road to Orangeburg, and it's his time for South Carolina State.
It is Chennis Berry time, and I'll be honest, I'm excited. I've been listening to him. I've been watching his show. I've been seeing how he runs his football team, and I'm excited to see the product that's on the field tonight.
Chennis Berry leading these Bulldogs, and you look at the series history, 60th all-time meeting, as I said, dates back to 1924. Coach Davis told you these used to be long-time MEAC rivals. Last one for South Carolina State, though, 2013.
Well, I was here from 2001 to 2011, and I can tell you, Tyler, I never lost to North Carolina A&T, so I'm not bragging, but we never lost. So this thing has been going for a long time, and there are a lot of households divided today.
And you look at that, last win for South Carolina State here in Orangeburg was before 2013, 2011. The Aggies have won 7 straight meetings in this series. Once again, no longer conference rivals, but Chennis Berry picking this series back up. It's great for the fans, great for the fan base, and these players are ready to go as we're ready for the opening kick. South Carolina State will kick it off to the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. An outstanding showing for both fan bases. We'll get into that throughout the broadcast. Long tradition between these two teams. And here's a good return at the 20-25 and cut down there just shy of the 30-yard line for North Carolina A&T. That was Aaron Harris on the return. And we will see the Aggies offense for the first time, and we were not sure who we were going to see at quarterback, but now we know. That is, well, yeah, that is Justin Fomby. So they played 3 different quarterbacks in their loss to North Carolina Central due to injuries. Kevin White got knocked out. They played a freshman to end the game. Fomby actually got injured in that game as well. 6'4", 216-pound graduate student has thrown 3 interceptions on the season. They go to the ground to start off this contest, and not much doing there in that Bulldog defensive front. Demetrius Davis, we should mention the Bulldogs coming out in kind of like a navy blue, white pants, sharp jerseys there.
That's a good-looking uniform. I kind of like the combination there. We haven't seen anything but garnet and white for the past so many years. I really like the blue.
So short gain on 1st and 10. It's going to be another handoff to the back, and down he goes quickly for a short gain. Ball came loose, and I'm not sure if the officials are going to say he was down by contact. He was. An offensive lineman picked it up, but they're going to say he was down by contact. So 3rd down upcoming for the Aggies on their first offensive possession.
2 run plays off the rip. We've seen the defensive line. You know, we always talk about the defensive line. We've seen the defensive line be excited early and to get 2 stops early. And I think the defensive line, they think is going to be more of the strength of this defense.
Take a look at the 3rd down defense for South Carolina State, 44%. Now, you have to keep in mind, a lot of the stats we will be giving throughout the broadcast, these two teams have played very brutal out-of-conference opponents thus far. Back to pass is Fomby, nowhere to go. Ball comes loose. Does South Carolina State have it? Bulldogs say they do, and it appears they do. Bulldog football.
Well, if Coach Berry had a dream last night of how he wanted to start his home opener, I'm pretty sure this would have been the play.
Take a look at the replay here. Fomby doesn't have a whole lot of time to throw. Pocket collapses.
Working on the score.
Pocket collapsed early. You could see the twist, and I could see North Carolina A&T offensive line having a little trouble with the twist.
We got RPs out there, so we don't have their scoreboard. We're trying to figure it out.
So it looks like a shot Hall. The defensive lineman was able to recover the fumble, and that is actually the first recovered fumble on the season for the Bulldogs. They had, check that, the third recovered fumble for the Bulldogs. And we got a flag down after the play. We've been waiting for the officials to figure out what this was on the end of the fumble recovery. Yeah, Bulldogs came in forcing only 3 turnovers with 1 interception. So unsportsmanlike on the Bulldogs. And I think the fumble recovery will stand. I see the Aggie defense out there.
Well, I don't know what the unsportsmanlike penalty was, but we know how Coach Berry feels about unsportsmanlike penalties. So I know he's probably upset right now, but you'll take that penalty after making that big play.
Yes, they will. So we will see Eric Phoenix. Did you take a look at his numbers? Very impressive out of Savannah, Georgia. Played under Coach Chennis Berry with the Benedict Tigers. Threw for 4,400 yards at Benedict. 32 touchdowns. 28 games under Coach Berry. And here's little play action fake. Throws, and it's incomplete on the first play for the Bulldogs.
You can see a little bootleg action where they was trying to get Tony the ball there. And North Carolina A&T did a great job of sniffing out that play.
Take a look at this replay once again. Just kind of got in the way there. Keyshawn Toney, the tight end, one of the returning starters for the Bulldogs, and a guy who every time he had the ball in his hands last year seemed like he was in the end zone. And here's a run near side. And that is going to be Caden High, another Benedict Tiger. And you know what? You can just kind of record that line. Tigers that comes over for the Bulldogs. How does that competition and how does their play, kind of translate to this level here in the MEAC?
Well, I always tell people the only difference between FCS, FBS, Division II, they all have players. Just one level might have more than the other.
Sure.
So these guys can play some real good football here.
Interesting design there. DeAndre DuPart's going to get it straight ahead. Down he goes quickly for a short gainer for the Bulldogs. 12:46 remaining here in the first quarter. And that brings up a second down and long. Second down, and we'll call it about 16 yards. 3 receivers right, 1 on the near side. Phoenix and the Bulldogs. And we've got motion up front. Could be a free play, but they blow it dead. Not sure who moved first, but it was on the near side, 2 linemen. Crowd still filing in. A ton of tailgaters today here on the campus of South Carolina State. It was great coming in to see so many people excited about the home opener today.
Yeah, this is a great crowd for a home opener today. All the lawyer sons and daughters came out for the North Carolina A&T game today. I was impressed. Getting on campus today kind of had a homecoming feeling to it, so I was impressed when I first pulled up today.
So the penalty was on the Bulldogs, and boy, a couple of flags early for South Carolina State. It's going to be second down and Santee, Coach.
Which is long.
3 receivers right, 2 left. They're going to throw this one over the middle. That is caught by Caden High. Oh, what a big catch and run for the first down to the 15-yard line.
Great play. And what you see is 3 verts there. That's what the vertical route. Once we get the replay here, you'll see Phoenix doing a great job of looking the safety off and putting this ball into the hole there, which is a great throw by Eric Phoenix. You can see him there. Look him off, put it in the hole, just the way they drew it up.
Tell you, when I started watching film on Eric Phoenix and these Bulldogs, puts a nice spin on the ball. Handoff straight ahead to the back. And a yard, maybe 2 on the carry. Caden High, talked about another one of those Benedict Tigers, 791 yards and 9 touchdowns in his previous season with Benedict. He was an all-conference player for the SIAC. Second down and 9. It's a man in motion. Phoenix back to pass. Looking right, throws right, crossing route, and that's caught lost at football. Aggies pile on top of it. I don't know if that was a complete pass, but they're going to say Aggie football. Oh, that was close. Bang, bang there, Coach.
That was bang, bang. Now, the rule is you're supposed to make an athletic move. So I guess we'll have to wait and see did the ball actually gain possession and did an athletic move
Let's see here. I think that's a fumble.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I think we were wrong. Well, I was wrong on that one. I didn't know if he secured it, and, the old line is, do they make a football move?
Correct. And the more you watch replays and the more you watch officials, the definition of athletic move changes every time. So sometimes I get confused.
So we'll see if this is. We will send a break. 11:10 remaining. Scoreless between the Bulldogs and Aggies. Down in 9 upcoming.
Well, Tyler, you talked about Coach Berry, and one of his favorite books is the Chalkwood and Kerry Water book. And for a guy that's been an assistant coach for 23 years and waited his turn to get his head coaching opportunity, that's kind of the mindset. Just keep your head down, keep grinding, and keep working.
Back to pass, throws over the middle, and that appears to be a secured catch, and it is for the Aggies. And that was Javon Dillard, redshirt freshman out of Georgia. That's his 14th catch on the season, the second leading receiver behind Jakari Caldwell. So a manageable third down for the Aggies, and this is an offense that has struggled in the early going of the season, and they are wounded. They're without their starting running back and also down to their second-string quarterback. A couple of injuries on the offensive front as well, and they seem to be out of sorts here on this third down. Play clock down low, and looking to pass, and he's going to be sacked. Sacked again. That's the second sack for the Bulldog defense. Looks like Logan Jones.
Yeah, it seemed like they brought a little corner pressure off the edge there, and Logan Jones did a great job of taking the running back on and getting the sack.
Logan Jones out of Charlotte, North Carolina, gets the sack and forces the punt. After the punt. And here's the punt, standing at his own 1 yard line. Oh, that's off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds, and we will send it to break. It'll be the Bulldogs' second offensive possession of the day with 9:15 remaining. Scoreless ball game here in Orangeburg on the ESPN Plus MEAC Digital Network. Possessions for the Bulldogs have started inside A&T territory. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Back to pass. Phoenix, a little swing pass here at the 45, 40 down the near sideline. Forced out of bounds at the 35. Nice catch and run there for the Bulldogs. And look who it is. KZ Adams, the junior out of West Columbia, transfer from Georgia State. Coach, you're very familiar with that young man. Played at Gray Collegiate High School, and what a sensational player he was. One of the best 4-year starters for a running back in recent memory.
He was by far one of the best players in the state. If you go to Gray Collegiate today, he's probably still there running around on the field. That's how many yards he had in his career there, and was a great player out of West Columbia, South Carolina.
3rd down and 1, and it's looks like a first down run for DeAndre Duhart. Going to be close, though. And gets it. And that's Bulldog football right there, Coach Demetrius Davis. 3rd down and short. You give it to the back. You let the big boys up front make the hole, and you pick up the first.
And speaking of the big boys up front, these guys been together for some years, though. So they have worked together. This should be the unit that they can lean on the most, especially early in the year.
New look formation here for the Bulldogs. 2 receivers. Tony in there at tight end. And it's going to be a reverse, and Aggies have it sniffed out, tackles them back at midfield. A reverse there for the Bulldogs, and that was Anaj Carter from Poughkeepsie, New York. Couldn't get free, and that's a huge loss on the play.
And I know people are probably saying, well, why would they call that play right now? But I always tell you the definition of a good play is a play that worked. Unfortunately, A&T did a great job of sniffing it out. But, sometimes you have to take chances and sometimes you have to make plays there. So, I can understand why you run a reverse there, but A&T just did a great job of sniffing it out.
Give credit to Henry Daniel on the tackle, one of the senior leaders of this defense. Thrown over the middle to Caden High at the 25, and I think he picked up all of that first down at the 23-yard line. I tell you, he finds a way to get open in the middle of the field.
Well, if you can pick up these kind of plays in the middle of the field, then you can run some more trick plays like that. But a great throw and a great catch and a great job by Caden High actually securing the football in the middle of the field.
And good protection by that line to give him enough time to find a receiver downfield. New set of downs for the Bulldogs just outside the 20-yard line. 3 receivers. And it's going to be a play-action fake, thrown near side, bobbled, and dropped. Wouldn't have been for a big gain anyway. 2nd down and 10. And between these two teams, the Bulldogs and Aggies, it's always physical. You know, we've seen some defensive battles. We called one here a couple of years ago. It was a gloomy day and the rain, and
right.
Aggies came out with the win. It wasn't a pretty game. Out of the shotgun.
Well, over the years, North Carolina A&T has always been traditionally pretty good on defense. So anytime you can see them play defense, that's what they do.
This is Caden High near side, inside the 10, and a 1st and goal for the Bulldogs.
We talked about a lot of these transfers that Coach Berry brought with him, and I can remember Coach Sanders talking about packing his lure bags and bringing some of his players to Colorado. I can see Coach Berry packed his lure bag and brought some good players from Benedict.
You know, it sounds so cliche, but you find your skill guys and find a way to get them in space, and Caden High is that guy.
Get him in space and give him a chance to make plays.
Phoenix back in the gun. DeAndre Duhart in it back. And he'll get the handoff near side at the 10. Spin move, still on his feet. Inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. And Cade Moldor on the stop for the Aggies.
Well, you can see South Carolina State running some old-fashioned power football right there, and you can see the great block there on the pull. North Carolina A&T did a good job of wrong-arming that thing and making it spill there.
Brings up 2nd down and goal. Duhart going to get it again. Tries to bounce it outside. 5-1 touchdown, South Carolina State. DeAndre Duhart. His 3rd touchdown of the season on the ground. So Duhart takes it in from 5 yards away. And the Bulldogs strike first blood.
Well, like I said, if you come out, your home opener, you got a great crowd, great weather, you get a chance to score first. It's a storybook ending so far.
Kyle Gallegos on the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, and that is good. Bulldogs are on the board, 7-0. They lead it over North Carolina A&T.
You know, a lot of people say that the only people that like change, Tyler, are babies. You know, so the fact that he was able to come in and make change, you know, is something that's been impressive so far.
And here's the return for the Aggies, and a good stop there on special teams. I'm going to get that young man's name. That's Joel Kashila. Good stop by him. And listen, whenever you have new coaches take over, it's expected you will have changeover, as you kind of alluded to. And I remember me and you having a conversation when all this happened, when Barry got hired. We were talking about guys that we hope they would retain, not just for culture, recruiting, and, you know, other things that kind of go into it. Goddard was definitely one of those guys.
Correct. Well, Nashawn has a personality unbelievably. So, I mean, he had one of the most unbelievable personalities you ever met. So, for the recruiting aspect and for a good football coach as an offensive line coach, we knew that Nashawn would have a chance to stay.
Mm-hmm. Throw over the middle, and he's immediately tackled just shy of the 20. So this new quarterback for the Aggies, who got some playing time last week against North Carolina Central, Justin Fomby, trying to get comfortable. He's a graduate student, 3 interceptions on the season, and he was put in a tough position against one of the best teams, if not projected to be one of the best teams in the MEAC, North Carolina Central. And here's the handoff far side. Nothing doing there. Might have actually been a tackle for loss on the play. Big stop for the Bulldogs. Nowhere to go that time. Jordan Dollard out of Greensboro, North Carolina.
Jordan did a great job of running that play down from the backside. He was the opposite defensive end there and ran that play down from the backside.
So another 3rd and long for this Aggie offense, trying to find some sort of rhythm. Bulldogs bringing pressure. Going to throw over the middle. That ball is tipped and incomplete. You know, and I'm going to bring something up you talked about off air. You went down on the field and you noticed kind of a different energy, different vibe. And I'm starting to see it in this Bulldog defense. There is a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. Obviously, they're playing well, but they are obviously, it's the home opener. They're excited.
It's the home opener. They're excited. I mean, the crowd is unbelievable. So all of that, you know, contributes to them being excited. But there was a different era, different awe, I should say, of excitement down there when I went down on the field earlier.
Ball is returnable, and not much there. Just out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Returned by Justin Smith-Brown, pardon me. And a flag is down here after the return. 7-0, South Carolina State leads. Bulldogs 1-2, their win coming against the Citadel in a game of which I watched a little bit of and talked to some folks here in the press box about. Citadel looks a lot different from when we saw them last year, partner. They have done a good job in the recruiting ranks down there in Charleston, and that was a battle between the two Bulldogs.
Well, one thing I noticed last year when the Citadel was here, that Coach Maurice Drayton was doing a great job. You know, you kind of have to play the hand that he's dealt when you take a job the first year. But now after that first year, you can get in and make some moves and get some guys and recruit a year, and you see a different product on the field now at the Citadel.
So the Bulldogs and the Aggies here, we're trying to wait and see what this flag was on. As you take a look at Coach Chennis Berry, and there is Coach Vincent Brown in his second season. Tough year for him in his opening year, 1-10 a year ago with the Aggies, of course, playing in a new conference. And he had to face some tough questions from the media. I watched that press conference after losing the way they did to North Carolina Central, 60-plus points put on the board. And you're not used to seeing scores like that between North Carolina Central and the Aggies.
Yeah, and I kind of explained to you earlier, you know, that North Carolina Central and the North Carolina A&T game is sort of like the South Carolina Clemson game in this state, you know, whereas these are South Carolina State and North Carolina A&T are big rivals, but now that Aggie Eagle Classic now is even bigger in North Carolina.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
So Coach Chennis Berry getting his team together. Not sure what this delay is on.
Stay live
and we'll just stay right here, as we will see this Bulldog offense come back out, who just scored on their last possession, the 5-yard touchdown run by DeAndre Duhart.
Just stay here.
A number of those Benedict Tigers here for the Bulldogs, 14 players. And I tell you, this is a great opportunity to talk about this. I mentioned this to you right before we went live. I thought one of the more impressive things about what Coach Chennis Berry was able to do was keep a lot of players from the Buddy Pugh era a year ago. And a lot of these players we're familiar with calling these games the last 4 years. That offensive line you mentioned earlier have played together. So the amount of players he was able to retain, anytime you see coaching changes, and even now with NIL and transfer portal, it's quite amazing and impressive that Coach Chennis Berry was able to keep so many guys.
Well, I'll be honest with you, with the new transfer portal rules and things of that nature, you almost have to have a staff for retention. You know, basically just having someone on staff that make the kids want to be here, make the kids want to get back, because now it's so easy now to leave and go and get other jobs. So well, I shouldn't say jobs, but get other opportunities to play football.
Of course, a couple of the big returners. We talked about that offensive line: Cam Johnson, Eric Brown Jr., Nick Taste, Trey Franklin, tight end Keyshawn Toney, who we thoroughly enjoyed watching last year. Justin Smith-Brown, who, you know, had some injury issues last year, but when he was in, absolutely electric, made some big plays for the Bulldogs. Dyson Roberts, who MEAC punter of the week last week. And
And you talk about some of the stuff that Coach did while he was at Benedict College. You know, they were able to go and win 20-plus games, you know, in 2 years, which is impressive. You know, get to the playoffs and make a run, and actually won a playoff game last year, if I'm not mistaken. So anytime you can get there, that's impressive.
Of course, we mentioned the 14 players coming from Benedict to SC State. We've seen Phoenix and Hyde quite a bunch on the offense, as well as offensive lineman Roger Smith, big-time lineman for the Tigers, and Jaden Broughton on that defensive line. Here is Phoenix going to throw, and that is intercepted. Intercepted by the Aggies at the 40-yard line. And that might light the spark for this Aggie team. They've been waiting for something positive to happen, and they just got it right there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that was a deep comeback that Phoenix was trying to throw there. I thought the timing was good, but a great play there.
And that is Janaz Sumter. How about that? A South Carolina product out of Hemingway.
Out of Hemingway, South Carolina.
Harvard's Bay. So 1st and 10 for the Aggies after the second interception thrown by Eric Phoenix on the season. Take a look at the turnover margin already. We've had quite a few.
Well, when you used to being -2 and you get +2, and that's definitely a better day.
And we're early going in the first quarter. A lot of action in this game as it was Cameron Darlimpel with the carry. Boy, what a big hole there. And picked up the first down. That's the longest play from scrimmage for the Aggies, and they get it into Bulldog territory, but there's a flag down.
Yeah, that was a big hole that time. I think you might have could have got at least 2 yards on that play.
At least. So whatever the play was, looks like it is 1st and 15, ball at midfield. It's a man in motion, handoff straight ahead, and down he goes against the teeth of that Bulldog defense, just inside SC State territory. And that's a young man we have not mentioned yet, but he was one of the top returners to this Bulldog defense. One of the leading tacklers, an all-conference player in the MEAC. He's a guy that just finds a way to always be in position to make a play, a ball hawk.
A lot of coaches say he has a nose for the ball. I never really understood what that meant, but they always around the ball.
Back to pass, looking, going to throw this one deep, near side. Oh, my goodness, what a grab. They're fighting for it inside the 5. But it's an Aggie reception. My, oh, my, what a catch by Javon Dillard. Wow. Javon Dillard with a Sports Center top 10 catch if I've ever seen one. The redshirt freshman. 15th catch on the season.
I tell you what was more impressive was Fumby staying in that pocket and throwing that football, knowing that he was going to take one on the chin there, and that was a great play by him staying in the pocket.
Yeah, best throw of the day by Fumby. We're still in the first quarter. 1st and goal. Aggie's looking to answer. Handoff straight ahead against the line. He's going to be brought down just inside the 5 to the 4. Clock running, 1:48 left in this first quarter. Boy, a ton of action here in the first. Cameron Darlimpel will check out. Fomby trying to lead this Aggie offense into the end zone for the first time today. Oh, bad snap. Trying to go back and fall on it, and they do back behind the 25-yard line. Oh, boy. Jamique Blizzard able to fall on it for the Aggies. Let's see what happened there.
Well, Fomby definitely wasn't ready for the snap, so the center heard something and thought that he was ready, but he still was actually calling the play.
It's a Fomby fumble.
That was pretty good. I'm going to write that one down. Fumby fumble.
I apologize. He's probably heard that one before. 3 receivers left, 1 right. See if they can make up for it. Long way to go. And it's 3rd and goal at the 26. Fomby looks left. 3 receivers there. Now look right. And we got whistles. We've got whistles.
Delay a game.
And that's going to be 5 more yards back. So you're going to have 3rd and goal behind the 30-yard line.
And that's one thing North Carolina A&T is going to think about with self-inflicted wounds. I call them self-inflicted wounds. Coach Berry call them sins. Self-inflicted negatives is what South Carolina State used. But self-inflicted wounds a lot of times, affect the outcome of a game.
Play action fake. Fomby throws. Got a wide open receiver at the 20, 15. Brought down there, and that was Javon Dillard once again. But it will bring up 4th and goal inside the 15, and we'll see the field goal unit. Fomby seems to have gotten a little comfortable there in the pocket. He's had a couple of big throws on this drive.
Well, normally once you get a couple of licks, you can stand in the pocket more.
That's the end of the first quarter. We send it to the second. 7-0. South Carolina State leads North Carolina A&T.
For 15 years, the Home Depot Retool Your School program has been championing HBCUs. We've been right there with campus grants, scholarships, and career opportunities. Winning schools have seen their visions for upgrading their campuses and communities come to life through sustainability projects, as well as new places to connect, like innovation lounges and outdoor.
This is Andrew Brown from the far hash. At the 20, spot kick. And that is good. Aggies are on the board, 7-3. South Carolina State still leads, but Brown puts the Aggies off.
Well, after that big play there, I think that's a win for South Carolina State to be able to hold them to 3 there instead of giving up a touchdown that would have tied it at 7.
Going back to Coach Vincent Brown for the Aggies, he's had some struggles there and, taking over for a great coach that had a lot of success here with North Carolina A&T. I wonder, having a career in the NFL, having coached at William & Mary, you wonder what translates to your kids. You wonder what type of experience translates to that next level, and maybe that's what Coach Vincent Brown's kind of trying to figure out.
Well, anytime you have played at the highest level, I guess you can give aspirations or advice or goals for some of your guys. My guys at Fairfield Central, they'll never get that opportunity because their coach wasn't good enough to play at the highest level. So all I can do is tell them about some other guys that did it. But, coach can go in there and actually tell some of his own stories.
Coach Vincent Brown at North Carolina A&T. So Aggies booted away into the end zone for a touchback, and the Bulldogs will have it 1st and 10 at the 20. And, we got some chippiness here at the 30. That's just good old-fashioned rivalry action there. Bulldogs haven't won in this series in quite a while. Aggies have won the last 7, and this was once tabbed the Battle of the Border. They played in Charlotte, played a couple of times in Atlanta, and you coached in this rivalry. What made this one special?
Well, I think it's a lot of South Carolina State people that know a lot of North Carolina A&T people, and the blood is really not good blood. On that day, everybody want to be the best dog in that day. So, South Carolina State, which have, some of the best pride of any school in the country, North Carolina A&T feel the same way.
DeAndre Duhart with a nice run, little burst there. And David Mack, the leading tackler for the Aggies, makes the stop. We're waiting to say his name. Came in with 30 tackles, and look at that. Shot in from the opposite end of the field. And here's another big run for the Bulldogs. And again, Mack with the stop. DeAndre Duhart picks up another first down scamper. And look at this. Bulldogs going up tempo.
Going up tempo, you can see the counterplay. We actually call that convoy, where you got a guard kicking and you got the fullback, Tony Rappin, and does a great job of fitting on the linebacker there.
I think David Mack just saved the touchdown, seeing there was nobody in front of him And it's going to be a play action fake. Throws over the middle, and Caden High can't hang on. That was a quick one. Second down and 10. It's kind of interesting. We were talking about Vincent Brown still trying to establish that identity on both sides of the ball. It seems like the Bulldogs kind of know what they do with a lot of players that are familiar with Coach Genesberry, a lot of players that are familiar with this system playing in it at Benedict.
Well, I think that's advantageous of why he brought a lot of those guys with him. You know, that's less teaching that he have to do. These guys have been in his system for the past 2-3 years.
You know, there's a loyalty aspect that comes in there, but I think it's also just that opportunity, you know.
Opportunity, and you're going to bring kids that you know are great high character kids, and you're going to bring kids with you that are great football players, you know. So I can understand him wanting to have those guys, and I can also understand them wanting to be with him.
There's certainly a trust level between both of them as well. And here's the handoff near side, nowhere to go. And look who it is. It's David Mack again. I'll tell you, this has been a battle. Mack and Duhart. No gain. Third down and long. As you take a look at the replay, I'll tell you, David Mack came from the opposite end again on the other way around, went around the line from the far side.
I tell you, the guy number 3, Joshua, I see there, he did a great job of what we call wrong arm in that play to make it spill so that Mack could go and make that play.
And here's a deep bomb down the near side, and that is incomplete. Brings up fourth down. But a flag down. There was some contact. So they're going to say offside, so that was a free play. Eric Phoenix probably just took that opportunity to bomb that one on fly route. And Bulldogs will get another crack at this one. 3rd and 11 now becomes about 3rd and 6 at midfield. 7-0. Check that, 7-3. Bulldogs lead the Aggies. Late substitution coming in for the Aggies. Trying to get in position here. Now they do. That's Tony in motion. Going to throw far side. Catch at the 40. 35-30. Stiff arm at the 25-yard line. Keyshawn Tony.
That was a great play there. It was a great play call that was set up by 2 different motions. And if Keyshawn Tony was able to leak into the flat, got lost in the sauce, and was able to go and make a big play there.
He is a pass-catching tight end. Looks a little lighter in his last year out of Williston, South Carolina. It's going to be another jet sweep here, and they sniffed it out, tackled him way deep in the backfield at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, we'll watch this replay here. I think this might have been one that Eric Phoenix would like to have back. That's the power read there, that if he keep that and he can hand that and follow. But, you know, a lot of times I tell my kids, sometimes you make the wrong decision, but next time you got to make a play again.
That was Henry Daniel. He's made some really big plays for the Aggie defense. That's a couple of tackles for loss for him. Throw far side, Caden High. Flag is down as he was dropped for a short gain on the play. David Mack in on the stop. Also in on the stop was Janaz Sumter. Sumter had that interception in the first quarter that led to the field goal. See what the flag is on. This crowd has gotten quiet, even though it's a pretty large crowd.
The penalty was declined, so it still would be 3rd and long now.
So 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Ball at the 25. Again, another late substitution by the Aggies. Just got him out. Ball comes out. Here's Phoenix. Little crossing route. Bobbles it. Can't hang on at the 20. And that brings up 4th down for the Bulldogs. Intended for Anaj Carter. A little behind him. Couldn't corral that.
Yeah, and Anaj is another one of those players that you're trying to get in space. If he can get the ball in his hands there, you'll have an opportunity to have a skill kid in space that we talked about earlier.
Long field goal attempt here. Ball placed at the 25.
For confirmation. Wait for confirmation. Okay.
Spot, hold, has the distance, and it is good. It is true for Kyle Gallegos. Transfer from Arkansas, knocks it through. And, of course, Nick Pace, first team All-MEAC. Aaron Smith, leading tackler from a year ago. And our guy, Keyshawn Toney. A 43-yard field goal makes it 10-3. Kyle Gallegos from Fort Worth, Texas, a transfer from Arkansas. New pig. Early second quarter action here. And the Marching 101 getting everybody involved here. They're putting on a show there in the quarter of the end zone.
Yeah. Unfortunately, on the field.
Yeah, got to get them off the field so we can continue playing. There's a flag down. Is that on the fans? It's going to back South Carolina State up.
Yeah, Coach Berry might have to go get in the stands. You have to run some gases, get a couple of fans to run some gases.
I was watching the Chennis Berry show. Our pal Ernest Robinson, the play-by-play radio voice of the South Carolina State Bulldogs, does that with Coach Chennis Berry. And Coach Berry saying he wants to see a lot of faces in the place in Orangeburg. And we certainly got that. Ton of fans in the stands for this one. Ball picked up behind the 20, returnable, and gets it up to about the 40, and that's where the Aggies will put it in play. So we've had a couple of momentum shifts here. Bulldogs lead at 10-3, and we'll see if the Aggies can kind of carry what they did on that last offensive drive.
Well, if you're the Aggies now, you want to come in and get a couple first downs, kind of relax the crowd a little bit, get momentum back in your place. And if you're South Carolina State now, you need a 3-and-out.
As you take a look at Justin Fomby, trying to lead North Carolina A&T back down the field. 11:45 left in this first half. Sun setting here in Orangeburg. Handoff straight ahead. And going to be taken down just out across the 40 to the 41. This Bulldog defensive front doing a pretty good job. Got a couple of sacks, a couple of tackles for loss. It's a favorable spot. Going to give him 3 yards, second down and 7. The defense giving up 125 yards on the ground, this Bulldog defense. That's per game. Off tackle when he gets taken down just shy of the first down yard marker. Shymeek Blizzard out of Chesapeake, Virginia. Third down and short, and now this Bulldog crowd gets loud again. They stopped him earlier in the game on third and short. Can they do it again? Oh, Bulldogs almost jumped. Bombi, a veteran, tried to draw him off. Here's a handoff straight ahead. Got the first down inside Bulldog territory. That is Blizzard again on the carry.
Blizzard picks up the first down.
I've been pretty impressed. That's just old-fashioned power football right there, Tyler. Just straight A-gap power. Offensive line does a great job of getting some space in there and get a little crease.
A lot of seniors on this offensive line, but Brock Stukes making a big play there. 6'3", 317 out of Virginia. Bombs this one down the near side. Got a man, and it's incomplete. Just out of his reach. That was Jamison Warren out of Winston-Salem. He just couldn't get to that one. Had his DB beat, though.
Had him beat. You run power, and then you catch your DB sleeping a little bit, and then you go and take a shot. Had a step. I used to know a guy named Troy Douglas, and he used to call those long balls. He used to call them long foul balls.
Diego Addison on the coverage, one of the star defenders for the Bulldogs. And it's a little jet sweep here, far side, and that is Javon Dillard. He's got a couple of big catches. They try to get him involved in the run game. And there's Aaron Smith. First time we called his name on a play. He's in on a lot of plays, but gets credit for the tackle there. 3rd down and 8. They go 4 wide. Bulldogs showing pressure. Fomby back to pass, throws over the middle. That is caught by the receiver there at the 30-yard line. That's enough for an Aggie first down. Caught by Thomas Brown out of Wendell, North Carolina. That's a good throw.
I tell you what, I've been impressed with Fomby. It takes a different person to stand in that pocket knowing that you got people breathing down your throat and you make a good throw and you stand in the pocket and make a throw.
He's a veteran. Made some big throws. And here's the handoff straight away. I think that's Blizzard again. And he's going to be upended just shy of the 25-yard line. Check that on the carry. And that is Cameron Darlimple out of Rose Hill. So clock winding, 8:23. It is 2nd down and manageable for this Aggie offense. They've kind of frustrated the Bulldog defense. And they've been out there on the field for quite some time in this quarter.
Well, if you're the Bulldog defense, you want to have a bend but don't break mentality. You know, you can give up some yards, but keep points off the board.
Here's a bomb near side. Got a man in the end zone. Oh, my goodness. Did he make that grab? Touchdown, North Carolina A&T. Jakari Caldwell, the leading receiver with his first grab of the game, and it goes for 6. Wow. What a grab.
What a throw.
Check the replay. What do you see, Coach?
It just looked like a double move there, like a little out and up. Great ball placement there, and just a great reception, great catch, great concentration, great everything there by Caldwell.
Jakari out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, played for Northwestern. He's actually a transfer from the University of South Carolina right up the road in Columbia, and gets his first reception touchdown of the season. And it comes at a big moment. Extra point ties the game with 7:53 remaining in the half. Snap, spot, hold, kick, and that is true. 10-10, back where we started. What a play, and we're tied up between the Bulldogs and the Aggies. 10-10, 7:53 remaining in the half. Tyler Cup, Demetrius Davis in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Great wide shot there by our production crew to tell you how big this crowd is.
Tell you what, get up for the Bulldogs. I am applauding the Bulldogs for coming out today and supporting Coach Berry in his home debut. You know, so kudos to all the South Carolina State fans that are here today.
A lot of excitement for a new era in Orangeburg. A&T boots it away. Returnable at the 5. And up to about the 20-yard line. So 10-10 your score. Bulldogs will have it. And we will see Eric Phoenix in the offense try to answer here. The offense has sputtered a little bit. Phoenix does have an interception. The lone touchdown was by DeAndre Duhart from 5 yards away. Phoenix a sneaky 6'3". Looks taller than 6'3", actually.
Long arms. He's a rangy 6'3".
Maybe played power forward in high school, maybe? Think so?
That might have been center. He went to Fairfield Century to center.
You see sons like that,
Right.
you're putting them on the line. You ain't playing wide out, you're playing line.
You're going to be an offensive tackle.
So a penalty on the Bulldogs backs them up. Of course, my partner, Demetrius Davis, coach of Fairfield Central. Congrats on the win today. You guys got a win against Andrew Jackson this morning.
Thank you. I kind of feel like Kirk Herstreak. I had a game this morning. Now I'm here calling this one tonight.
Didn't need a private plane either. took a Y-26.
Straight I-26.
Of course, many high school games here in South Carolina and North Carolina being played on Saturday, some games on Monday. I had one of the few games that were in town last night, calling Northwestern and Catawba Ridge. 10-10 your score, 7:08. And it's going to be second down and 16. Back to pass is Phoenix. Looking, now he's going to have to scramble, and he gets past the line of scrimmage for a positive gain, but not much. Third and long upcoming. One of the few times the pocket has collapsed for Phoenix, and he's had to turn something out of nothing.
Yeah, he did a good job. I mean, coverage was good. He didn't have anything downfield to put the ball in the air. Offensive line did a great job of handling the twist. You know, you only have about 3 or 4 seconds in that pocket, though, before it's time to make a decision.
Third down and about 14 yards to go. Phoenix, 3-step drop. Looking, going to fire this one over the middle. That is almost intercepted. Oh, my. Brings up fourth down in the punt unit. Oh, boy. A lot of celebrating down there for Big 58 Christopher Allen, the defensive end out of Wake Forest High School. Take a look at the replay. Let's see why they're celebrating. Got a hand on it. Just could not hang on. Bobbled it. We almost had a big guy touchdown there.
Big guy touchdown on a zone fire. And what they did was they brought the zone fire and bailed the D lineman. So he had an opportunity to put his hands on the ball. It probably wasn't ready for it.
Dyson Roberts booms this one. He was the MEAC Special Teams Player of the Week. 2 punts of 50-plus and a 72-yarder. As that one is downed at the 35. We'll step aside. 6:08 remaining in the half. 10-10 your score. Between the Aggies and the Bulldogs, former MEAC rivals. Of course, now the Aggies play in the CAA. Both teams with one win all in the season. Aggies have the football at their own 35-yard line. It'll be Fomby and the Aggie offense. 3 receivers. 2 to the far side, 1 on the near side. A little bit of a delayed start, but I think we're ready now. Fomby with a play-action fake. Gonna throw down to the near side. That's incomplete. Tell you another small thing, Demetrius, is the time that Fomby is getting. Remember in the early going, there was a lot of pressure and didn't have a whole lot of time to throw. That offensive line giving him a little bit more time there. As you see, got plenty of time there to make a decision and throw, and good coverage on the play for South Carolina State. That was Logan Jones. Tell you, he's had a good game.
He had a great game. Good tackles and good coverage.
Actually,
3 wideouts.
I think we have to take a double have mark.
And here's a handoff straight ahead.
Control, but I think we
Not much doing there for the back.
Well, Tyler, I think all plays in a game are big, but I think for South Carolina State defense now, with the momentum and things that's going on now, I think this is probably one of the bigger third downs in this first half.
Mm-hmm. Cameron Darlimple. And that's another area where this Aggie team is wounded down to their third-string running back, Kenji Christian, the outstanding back. Helped this rushing attack get 400 yards in the first 2 weeks of the season, but not a whole lot since he's been out. Got injured in week 3. Throws this one, and that is bobbled and incomplete. Bulldogs get a stop.
You talk about injuries. I mean, injuries sometimes give people opportunities. You know, you see a good job here Great job of North Carolina A&T picking up the blitz there. And great defense, great coverage.
Jalen Levine out of Walterboro, South Carolina, not too far down the road. Doesn't have his high school listed, but more than likely Colleton County, right?
Probably Colleton County.
Yep. We have an injured Bulldog at the 5:21 mark here of this second quarter.
It's Aaron Smith there. And I noticed he was the linebacker on the blitz. I thought they took the rule out where you couldn't cut linebackers in the hole anymore. I know you could about 5-10 years ago, but he was coming on a blitz and the running back kind of cut him in the cutting zone.
So a lot of Bulldog fans watching.
You can see him on the blitz there. Running back picks him up.
Yeah.
And go low. I'm not sure. I know in high school you can't do that. I haven't looked at the NCAA rules in a while, but I thought they took that out, that a running back couldn't cut a linebacker on the second level anymore.
Well, certainly, D. It's good to see Aaron Smith walking off on his own power, talking about one of the best players on the field for the Bulldogs. A lot of fans holding their breath when he's down. There's a high punt into the lights, and that is fair caught just shy of the 20-yard line, and that is where the Bulldogs will put it in play. We'll stay here, and Aj Carter on the fair catch. So 10-10 your score, 5:14 left. You know, this is an interesting point of the game. Neither team really has the momentum. We're back where we started. Both teams have had success offensively. Both teams have had success defensively. See what the Bulldogs can do here.
Sound like the game would be tied when you say that.
We've become cliche central. And it's only the second quarter. There's the handoff off tackle. Nothing doing. I tell you another thing. This North Carolina A&T defense has gotten more comfortable, too, as the game has gone on. This defensive line has really settled in.
Yeah, you can see the defensive line actually getting a new line of scrimmage there with the offensive line. It's a good battle here with these defensive linemen versus the offensive linemen, seniors on seniors, veterans on veterans.
Christopher Abraham out of Concord having a really good game on the line. Phoenix going to throw. Little swing pass at the 15. Got it at the 20. 25 still on his feet at the 30. That's Justin Smith-Brown. And it looks like he's right at the first down yard marker on his forward progress. Justin Smith-Brown, electric when he has the ball in his hands. He made some great catches a year ago. And there they try to get him in space, and it works for a first down.
Yeah, great job of bringing him in motion and throwing him the bubble screen out the backfield there. Able to get a first down, which is a big first down on this drive here.
New set of downs, 10-10. It's going to be a handoff far side, trying to get the edge. Breaks through at the 40, 45, into Aggie territory, out of bounds. Oh, what a run.
KZ Adams.
Yep. KZ able to get free. You know, KZ played really well in the Florida A&M game. I remember texting you watching that game in the second half. And KZ's going to get it again at the 45. Shifty move there and just shy of the 40. But played very well in that A&M game. He caught a touchdown in that contest and got a bulk of the carries in the second half. But unfortunately, the Bulldogs could not hold on for the win. They led by double digits in that second half, but Florida A&M came back and got the victory.
Well, we get into that time of the game that I always talk about, Tyler, which is 3 minutes or so before halftime. So if South Carolina State able to get a score here, that is the way you go into halftime with some momentum.
So Bulldogs are inside Aggie territory. I did not see a flag. There appears to be a delay here before we get back to action. The Zebras are huddled. Did you get a good look at Eric Phoenix? Unnecessary roughness on the Bulldogs.
Big penalty.
Huge penalty when you're inside your opponent's territory, and now they're on the other end of the 50. So Phoenix in this front line will have to get back to work. Second down and 22. Phoenix. It's going to be a little screen pass at the 40, trying to find room at the 45, and tackled there at midfield.
Great job of staying Big Nick Tate's lead out on the screenplay here for Casey here. Great defensive play of taking on the block. You see him here. You see Big Nick. Little jam lock release. He gets out and actually gets a good block there.
Yeah.
Great defensive play by spinning on and coming out and making the tackle there.
So still third down and long. Short gain. 19 yards to go. KZ Adams still in there. He'll line up at running back. 3 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Back to pass is Phoenix. Scrambling across midfield at the 45, 40, on the move, 35. And I think he just picked up the first down. Oh, what a run by Phoenix.
Great way of extending the play there. That's where the dual threat comes into play there. When you can stand in the pocket and make some throws, you see a little opening there, and you can become the next. You throw the ball to yourself technically, and you go get the first down.
Coming in, only had about 150 yards net rushing, but has picked up a couple of first downs within those yards. With 1:52 remaining in the half, we will step aside. 10-10 your score. Coach Dennis Berry, after that offensive huddle, the Bulldogs have 1st and 10. He was intense in that huddle.
It's an intense time, It's 10-10 game, playing against a rival. Every play is important now.
So 2 minutes left. This is a big drive, as Demetrius said before we went to break. Could be a big swing here for either team. There's KZ Adams. Handoff up the middle, down to the 30-yard line. Short gain, bring up a manageable second down. And now you're not just working against your opponent, but also the clock.
Well, the clock's your friend at this point. It's a minute and 40 seconds in the half. So if you can get points out of this thing and not give your opponent the ball back, then that's a win-win there.
Second down and 7. It's going to be a handoff. No, check that. Play action fake. Phoenix keeps it. And he scampers to the 30, so maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up third down. It does stop the clock. Well, it should, yep. So 3rd down and 7, it stays. Well, no gain. 4 receivers. Phoenix puts KZ in motion. Back to pass, going to throw, and that is bobbled and caught. Just shy of the 20. That's going to be close for a first down. That's Caden High, and High says he's got it, and he does.
First down. I've been impressed with Caden High today. He does a great job of attacking the football with his hands. A lot of people can catch the football and let it get in their chest, but when you can go out and catch it with your hands, that's a big-time wide receiver.
That's a great point. That is how he has called it all night, is putting the hands out front. Absolutely right. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Phoenix puts High in motion. Back to pass. Good pocket. Throws, and that is caught at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina State. Keyshawn Toney. His first touchdown reception of the season. Oh, do we have a flag? Oh, no. It was thrown at the 20 on the near side beside Dennis Berry. He's getting the explanation.
Call it illegal shift. So either there was not enough men on the line of scrimmage, or somebody moved and didn't get reset.
So it wipes 6 off the board. And they'll have to do it again. 46 seconds left. It still stays first down, but it's 1st and 15 at the 26. Phoenix back to pass. Good pocket. Throws, and that's incomplete. That was Carter. A little crossing route that, they've run a couple of times. They have been unable to complete any passes on that route.
Well, I attribute that to North Carolina A&T's defensive line doing a great job of getting their hands up.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you can't get a sack a lot, whenever you can get pressure and you put your hands up, you make those throwing lanes tight for the quarterback.
Second down and 15, 42 seconds left. Looks to the sideline. A&T in a four-man front. Phoenix throws near side. That's Justin Smith-Brown, and immediately met and tackled on the play. And we got a timeout. So stops the clock with 32 seconds left, and it's third down. This will be an interesting play call for the Bulldog offense here. You have a very competent kicker who's already hit a 43-yarder. Obviously, you want to go for 6, would like to pick up the first down and open up the playbook.
Well, you do. But at the end of the day, you got to get something out of the drive. So you don't want to be overly aggressive and ended up throwing the football away or having a turnover here, because you would like to at least walk away with 3 here.
I want to give credit to Stephen Davis II out of Greensboro, North Carolina, who made that tackle. He's played a really good game for A&T. So third down and 10. And let's see what Coach Berry and the Bulldog offense draws up here. Look at this. Receivers bunched tight. Phoenix claps his hands. Drops back, being pressured. And he's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked back at the 35-yard line. In there to get him. Well, there was a number of players, but give credit to Joshua Hardy. As you see him celebrate, the 6'4" redshirt sophomore out of Maryland.
So not only is that a big-time play by him on that for making a sack, but now you're taking the Bulldogs out of field goal range. So now the conversation is, how do we punt here, or do we come out and try what would be about a 50-something yard field goal?
Joshua Hardy, first time we've called his name. He's a transfer out of Boston College. And another timeout is called with 23 seconds left. Boy, and you said it so accurately. You don't want to take a sack. You don't want to take a loss. You want to be careful and safe with the football.
Well, sometimes you can be too aggressive. But, sometimes you have to try to make plays also. So I can understand what was trying to happen there, but I guarantee Coach Berry and his staff was saying, please, Eric, don't take a sack here.
So you're kind of in no man's land here. It's a little too far for a field goal, a little too far in for a punt. And with 23 seconds left, Coach Berry decides to go for it here. Phoenix back to pass. Throws, a little crossing around at the 30. Still on his feet, 35, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. Well short of the first down, but almost kind of like a short punt. As it pins the Aggies back to the point. As we take a look at the replay. That was Carter on the crossing route. And again, that was Davis on the stop. So A&T with 15 seconds remain. They may just sit on this one and be totally fine with a 10-10 tie on the road in a very tough environment here, but they've got a solid visiting crowd across the way, and they will. They'll take a knee and send it to half with a tie ball game between South Carolina State and North Carolina A&T. It has been a good one here on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+.
One thing you don't want to do coming out of halftime is you don't want to have a play that costs you the football game. One play would not win you the football game, but one play can also hurt you and lose your football game. So now it's time you come out and try to establish what your goals were in the first half, and just it's 0-0 technically. So now just come out and try to execute.
Take a look, Coach Chenisberry, then some of the Aggies there getting ready. South Carolina State in their home opener here in Orangeburg with the night game. And they will receive this third quarter kickoff. As if you remember, the Aggies fumbled it on their opening possession. Bulldogs could not come away with points, though.
And this is why we talked about right before half. If you could just get anything right there before half, you had a possibility of being up 10 points or 3 points or something before North Carolina A&T get a chance to touch the ball again.
And it really feels like the Aggie defense kind of settled in there in the second quarter. To your point, we were having conversation off air saying maybe the Bulldogs should try to run the ball, and instead that defensive line's been playing really well, and it's been hard for them to run in that second quarter, as the Bulldogs will start 1st and 10 at the 20. So we'll see Eric Phoenix and the Bulldogs come back out. The Bulldogs 1-2 on the season. Their win coming against the Citadel. They will play Tennessee State next week. That's on the road. 3 receivers for the Bulldogs. Handoff straight ahead, and that's Mack in on the tackle. Wraps him up initially, and then a gang tackle. DeAndre Duhart on the carry out across the 25-yard line, so about a 4-yard gain.
Well, it seemed like they might have heard you. Little power play, 4-yard gain. The definition of a positive run play is 3 yards.
Here's Phoenix rolling to his right, throws, bobbled. Don't know if he came up with that interception. I think that hit the turf. It did. Trying to plead his case. That was Karan Prunty, our impact player. It's kind of interesting. We haven't called his name until right then. Sometimes for a corner, that's a good thing, right? They lock up their assignment at wide receiver.
That means that side of the field is null and void for the day.
Mm-hmm. National Player of the Year watch list, Karan Prunty. Keyshawn Toney in motion. Phoenix back to pass. Throws it out to the back and stepped out of bounds. Close to the first down yard marker. Going to be just shy. DeAndre Duhart, the back on the reception. And it brings up 4th and short. Bulldogs will have to kick it away.
DeAndre Duhart almost did a tap dance right there and almost stay in bounds, which would have got South Carolina State the first down there.
So Dyson Roberts out of Sumter, South Carolina, to kick it away. He's turned into a good one for the Bulldogs. I remember when just a couple years ago, true freshman, got a couple of opportunities. And a timeout is called by North Carolina A&T. Not sure if they just didn't have enough men on the field, or maybe they saw something. We don't know if Janice Berry would go well. Of course, the Aggies in a different conference, but a lot of years it was either the Bulldogs or the Aggies for that MEAC title.
Exactly. Those two went at it for a lot of years, and that game used to be the last game of the year and often decided who would win the MEAC.
So good special teams play there by the Bulldogs, downing it there at the 20. So that's where the Aggies will put it in play. Give credit to Jayon Allen out of Beaufort, Bay River. Shout out to my good friend Rodney Summers, who just stepped down a couple years ago. Started that program.
Yeah, I remember Rodney. We was at Westwood for a little time.
Now he's doing like tours.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing like water tours. First and 10. Ball around the 20. Handoff to the back, straight ahead. Here he goes at the 40, 45, midfield. Could get free. One man to beat, and he's brought down inside the 30. Oh, my. What a run for North Carolina A&T. Cameron Durlimple.
See the power play, and you see South Carolina State trying to run the power play, hadn't been able to get some of the space that North Carolina A&T's been able to find in there.
That was Gerard Washington with the touchdown-saving tackle out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, transfer from Benedict. One of those 14 Tigers on the Bulldog roster. Back to pass, throws this one over the middle. Caught, touchdown, walks in for the score. 2 plays, touchdown, A&T. That is Anthony Rucker, the tight end from Orlando. Wow. Just like that.
Just like that, too. Did a great job of looking the safety off here and coming back and throwing a wide open tight end here.
That is the most wide open any receiver has been today. And it goes for 6. 2 plays, 80 yards for the Aggies. Spot kick, and that is good. 17-10. A&T on top of the Bulldogs. Take a look at the replay.
The replay, see his eyes. See him come back to it. Great throw and catch.
Skinny post, just how you draw it up. We'll stay right here.
So we talked about the time before halftime, after halftime. North Carolina A&T did a great job of getting points off the board before halftime, get the ball right after halftime, and scoring 2 plays. Now, that is when your momentum switch.
Well said, Coach. You called that from the outset. Aggie defense did its job against the Bulldog offense, and then the Aggie offense. Their first opportunity in the third quarter, 2 plays, 80 yards, and a touchdown pass from Fomby to Rucker.
But if you're South Carolina State, 12 minutes and 57 seconds left to go in the third quarter, you're down by 7, now it's not the time to panic. Just keep playing football. Just keep playing, keep running the football, keep taking shots when you get a chance to take a shot, and something good will happen your way.
So caught in the end zone, but he's going to return it at the 10, 20, oh boy, 30, 40. Flag is down at midfield. Going the other way, 20, 10, into the end zone. That's Carter, but a flag is down way back at the 25. And another flag is thrown well after the play. Nanaj Carter got free at the 25 and shot through. But let's see what the flag's on.
I think you're probably going to have a hole. You're going to probably have a block in the back. It's 3 different sets here, but normally when it opens up like that and there's laundry on the field, there's normally a hole somewhere.
So the huddle of zebras. Take a look at the replay. Let's see if we can see that block in the back or a hold.
I'm still looking.
Yep. Boy, what a first by Carter. You know, we talk a lot about the burst by Caden High and KZ Adams. Speed kills. You got another one in Nanaj Carter.
Yeah, I like the way he caught that thing and he just made one move and hit the sideline there. No dancing or nothing, just get to the end zone. But somewhere they feel like somebody had an advantage and there was some holding somewhere.
Yeah, there was interesting. There are 2 flags. Actually, check that. 3 flags on the field. There's 2 on the Bulldog side of the field, and then another on the Aggie side. There were 2 thrown initially when he was returning at the 30, and then one was thrown well after play when he scored. Okay. So they declined 1. So at least 2 holding calls and then an unnecessary roughness. And we still don't see it on that one, do we?
Yeah, a lot of time they're calling unnecessary roughness with either a defenseless player or with some kind of blindside block. Now is what a lot of officials are starting to call. So I think North Carolina A&T took the holding and the personal foul.
And let's call it what it is, Coach. A 101-yard kickoff return for a score, wiped off the board. And after the penalties, what's this here? 1st and 10 at the 10. Handoff. And actually, that's a pass, pardon me. And got free there, far side of the field for a nice gain. That's Caden High.
Yeah, I've been impressed with this young man today. Caden High can play.
Yeah, Phoenix fakes me out on the play, got it to Caden High at the 25, and picks up a first down across the 30. This is Duhart far side trying to get the edge. Slips through a couple of tackles before he's initially taken down at the 35. Duhart in that first half had 48 yards on 10 carries. Had the touchdown with a long of 18 yards. 2nd down and 8 here. Phoenix is going to be brought down for a sack. My goodness. This defensive front for the Aggies has been vicious here in the second quarter and into the third. And on the stop there was Henry Daniel. I tell you, Henry Daniel has been in on a lot of tackles for loss. I think that's his 3rd in this game.
And that was textbook by Henry of getting down and squeezing and then going back and tapping the quarterback.
Flags are everywhere as Phoenix throws this one, is immediately tackled there at the 45-yard line. That would be good enough for a first down, but there was a flag down.
I think you got offsides on defense, which allowed South Carolina State to have a free play there.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it was. Good call by you. Bad catch by me. Phoenix went ahead and played through, and that's a veteran move by him. So they pick up a new set of downs after the sack. And this is Duhart with some tough yards across the 45 to the 48.
But I tell you what, Tyler, he's getting 3-4 yards to carry. What you have to look at these runs as the heavyweight fight where you're just taking some body blows. You know, it's not as exciting as the jab or the haymaker, but those body blows are the ones that get you in the fourth quarter.
Play action fake, throws Justin Smith-Brown on the screen. Oh, breaks a couple of tackles and gets it up to midfield. Oh, that could have been bad news for the Bulldogs, and he might have actually picked up positive yards. See where he stepped out of bounds. Looks like he just got into Aggie territory at the 49.
You see a great job there standing bounds, first of all, and making something positive out of a negative.
Broke 2 tackles there on his way, and it's a 3rd down, and we'll call it 4 yards. Shotgun for a wide. Man in motion, that's KZ Adams. Throws, and that's Tony, the tight end, at the 40, down to the 35-yard line. Another Bulldog first down.
Great play call here, Tyler. We're going to watch what happens here on this play. We're going to watch the quarterback. Well, actually, South Carolina State picking up tempo now.
Yeah, going up tempo, no huddle. Handoff straight ahead. Short gainer there. I've heard coaches say over the years a quarterback's best friend is a reliable tight end.
A reliable tight end, yes, sir.
And you've got that in Keyshawn Toney. That's a veteran to a veteran. Phoenix to Keyshawn. 2nd down and 7. Back to pass is Phoenix. Going to throw, and that is incomplete against the cover 2 defense. That looks similar to the play on the touchdown that was called back in the first half.
That was Keyshawn on the wheel route that he actually caught for a touchdown right there before the half. That was called back.
So 3rd down upcoming for the Bulldog offense. Big series here. Chennis Berry and the Bulldogs trying to answer that 2-play 80-yard drive by the Aggies. 3rd down in Aggie territory. Phoenix back to pass, throws far side, and that is, I think he caught that ball. Oh, my. There is a flag down. I think that was also offsides.
I think it is offsides.
Boy, what a catch there made by DeAndre Ruffin, the graduate out of Savannah and transfer from Allen.
Great body control, catching that ball and getting his feet down.
Bulldogs are not moving forward. This could be on them. We thought it was offsides. There was definitely movement up front. Two penalties on the play.
Yep. Offsetting penalties. So what happened? They called offsides and had the free play, and then they had an ineligible receiver downfield.
Yep.
So penalties offset, replayed it down.
Another good. How many plays, good plays, have been wiped off the board for South Carolina State?
And those are big.
Caden High in the slot. Third down. After the offsetting penalties, Phoenix crossing route, caught at the 20, 15, 10, scampers to the 5-yard line. And that once again was DeAndre Ruffin. They give him another opportunity, and he takes advantage. Take a look at the replay.
Looking at the replay, we see DeAndre Ruffin catching the crosser that they've been trying to hit all day, and he gets them yaks. We talk about the yards after catch. So not only did Coach Barry bring 14 guys from Benedict, he actually stopped on his way across the street at Allen and brought another guy.
Two receivers to the near side. First and goal at the 9. Handoff at the 5, still on his feet, KZ Adams, and he steps out of bounds just shy of the goal line. I tell you what the Bulldogs have done on this drive. They have picked up long third downs.
They have picked up third down, and they also have picked up the tempo, which that is playing in the Bulldogs' favor right now. Maybe wearing down on North Carolina A&T's defense.
This is Phoenix. Gonna hand off up the middle. That's KZ Adams. Does he punch it in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, South Carolina State. KZ Adams. Played high school football about an hour away, and he punches one in for 6 for the Bulldogs.
Say, great job by KZ now, because a lot of Aggies was looking at him, but he just dropped his hat and was determined to get in the end zone there. That's when your offensive line coach, you go back and say, great job of blocking guys, but you got to go pat KZ on the shoulder and say, great job of running, KZ.
That's actually his first rushing touchdown of his career with the Bulldogs. He had a receiving touchdown against Florida A&M. Pending the extra point. There it is. 17 all. And we're tied again. 7:55 remaining in the third. We got a good one on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN.
Like effort for South Carolina State, which we've been able to see today. You know, offensively and defensively, been able to be blue collar, pay the fee, focus in on what you're doing, and execute.
A&T Bulldogs. We're tied at 17. Touchdown run by KZ Adams, tied it up. Aggies back with the football. Oh, and a hard hit at the 25. Stops them there. Say, it's got a little chippy, I've noticed.
Yeah.
And our camera got a great shot of it right there. I've seen some of it off camera at times, well after the play, as you take a look at the replay. But these two teams know each other well. Didn't play last year, but a lot of returners from 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I just think not only that, they don't have to know each other. They just know that one played for South Carolina State and the other played for North Carolina A&T.
They know their fans and the alums do not like one another, this being a heated rivalry. And don't know if that ball came loose, but the running back went down hard. Looks like there was a scamper. No gain on the play. As you got a good look at Aiden Weber. Levine gets credit for the stop. Aiden Weber, one of the returning Bulldogs from a year ago. Four wide as they put out the running back in motion. Fomby takes the snap. Good pocket, good protection. Throws this one in the slot. It's incomplete. Good coverage on the play. That was step for step there, Coach.
Yeah, step for step. And it looked like Jakar Caldwell had a step there on the defender from South Carolina State. And great ball, but great coverage.
And that's Jamari Benjamin, who Curtis Robinson told me was playing hurt in this game. Wasn't sure if we would see him, and right there does a great job on coverage. Third down and 10. Man in motion, puts him in the slot. Bombi drops back. Pressure, throw. It's intercepted! Intercepted at the 30 and brought down there. Oh, what a momentum shift for the Bulldogs. And that was Michael Brunson, the senior from Calhoun County. Take a look at the replay. What do you see?
Great play. Looked like it's thrown in his own coverage, and Brunson did a great job of just getting the play and getting a little momentum training there.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time. He was just standing there.
Well, that's called doing your assignment. His assignment was to probably be deep thirds, and I'm pretty sure that he was in his deep third doing what he's supposed to do because he was focused, because he's paying his feet, and he was able to get a interception right there.
I love how you turn that around. Yeah, that's what we call a callback. Here's a little jet sweep here at the 20. Caden High. He's ripped out of bounds just shy of the 15. And look at Caden High. Get this crowd into it. Flag is down. I don't know. Was there a face mask there on the end? I think that's what Caden High is calling for. Let's see what the officials talk about. As you take a look at the crowd, just a wonderful crowd here. And across the way for A&T, they made the trek here to Orangeburg. Yep. I thought I saw a little face mask, and then I was calling for it, went to the officials and said, hey, that's what happened on that play.
Yeah, but they called it on South Carolina State.
Oh. Okay. That was hard to see there, but nonetheless, it's going to be first down and long. So it actually is on South Carolina State that wipes off a play that would have put them inside the 20. Boy, a lot of penalties on the Bulldogs today. 3 receivers. Phoenix hands off to DeAndre Duhart. And he's down shy of the 30. And that was something that Coach Chenisberry talked about on the Chenisberry Show during the bye week. Said they wanted to clean up a lot of mistakes. But unfortunately, a lot of penalties have backed the Bulldogs up and taken scores off the board. Second down and long. Second down and about 19. Phoenix, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Play action fake. Phoenix going to bomb this one into the end zone. That is caught. Touchdown, South Carolina State. DeAndre Ruffin. Oh, what a catch.
What a throw.
Ruffin, the graduate from Savannah, Georgia. Watch this.
Got a little question. If you're a North Carolina A&T Aggie right now, you're saying he pushed off. If you're a South Carolina State Bulldog, you're saying touchdown Bulldogs.
Oh. DeAndre Ruffin. Getting this crowd fired up, and the Bulldogs retake the lead. The extra point is good, 24-17, but there is a flag down. Well, they're sending them back to the sideline, so they may enforce this on the kickoff. Yeah. So 24-17. South Carolina State Bulldogs lead North Carolina A&T. We'll send it to break. You're watching the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN game, and so far it's kind of equaled to a good game. 24-17. It's been a fun one here in the OVG home opener for South Carolina State. Touchdown pass to Ruffin. So this is taken at the goal line.
But-
Oh, ball is loose. Ball is loose. They fight for it. Bulldogs say they have it. No signal yet from the officials. And they do. Bulldog football.
Now, Tyler, if I'm a North Carolina A&T Aggie right now, I'm upset with you because you just talked about special team, and that special team play might be one of the bigger plays of the game now.
Quantre Harry came up with it, the special teamer. Look at that. Under that dog pile. Quantre Harry from Bishopville. Lee Central High School. Rise up. There on I-20, headed to Florence.
Well, South Carolina State now have an opportunity to extend the lead here now. We're getting to that time of the game now where this momentum, this crowd. The best thing North Carolina A&T has been able to do is kind of keep this big crowd quiet. Now, this crowd is starting to get loud now.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. There are times where this crowd got extremely quiet, and it was because of how good the Aggies were playing. Well, now, as you said, turnovers, big plays have gotten them back in it. And Phoenix and the Bulldog offense will try to step on the throat of the Aggies. Back in business inside the 25. And we got whistles.
I think North Carolina A&T was able to get a timeout. Seemed like they was having a substitution issue.
They've had a lot of that tonight. A lot of players coming in late, leaving to the sideline late. The timeout is called by Coach Vincent Brown in his second season with the Aggies. As you take a look at Eric Phoenix in the offensive huddle, now the Aggies huddling up. And, you know, you got to credit Coach Vincent Brown after losing the way they did against North Carolina Central, 60-plus points put on the board. Coming into this game on the road against a tough rival, tough environment, and you're wounded. But you're wounded Aggies. You know, you're down to your second-string quarterback, third-string running back, and they have answered the bell. They have played extremely well here tonight.
Games like that give you an opportunity to see who really want to be here. You know, who can you really depend on? You really want to be a North Carolina A&T Aggie. After that game, you come to practice on Sunday and Monday, and you still here and you still working, then I can depend on you.
This is DeAndre Duhart. Oh, look at this. At the 20, spins out of a tackle, still on his feet, and around the 15-yard line. Duhart at 5'10". It's a sneaky 5'10". Looks a little bit shorter than that, but he is hard to bring down. Don't be fooled. He is every bit at 215, solid. Second down and short. About 3 yards. Caden High in the slot. Justin Smith-Brown lined up wide to the near side. Phoenix gets the call from the sideline. Four-man front for the Aggies. Phoenix play action fake, going to throw, and that is intercepted. Intercepted by the Aggies at the goal line. And he's going to be tackled around the 15-yard line. And that kills a Bulldog momentum shift and drive. And, oh, look who it is again. That's his second interception of the day. That is the South Carolina product, Janaz Sumter. Out of Hemingway, two interceptions today for Sumter.
And I talked about it earlier. Sometimes you can be too aggressive. You know, right there, you had a chance to probably get a good punch in there and get a knockout punch there and turn the ball over and actually give North Carolina A&T new life.
Check that. That was actually Prunty. So 4:34 remaining. 4:26. Clock winding. 24-17. And boy, this crowd got quiet. They were so excited. And this place was about to blow up if South Carolina State scored another touchdown. But it has gotten quiet after that interception. And that throw is in the dirt. It's incomplete. And all of a sudden, it's a third down and long. And look at this. Mass substitutions coming in for South Carolina State on the defensive line.
Yeah, a lot of times you have your speed rushers and things for third and long. You get your guys that kind of pin their ears up pin the ears back, excuse me, and get after the quarterback.
Third down and 10. The Bulldog defense can really bail out their offense here with a big play and force a punt. Here come the edge rushers. Trying to find something, and he's sacked. Sacked back at the 6-yard line. That was Josh Barker out of Kennesaw, Georgia. One of those Benedict Tigers.
Great job of him just being persistent. Got blocked, went with the counter move, and was able to get the quarterback down for a big sack.
And Demetrius, that is a huge play for Barker. Kind of an undersized defensive lineman there, but uses his quickness and got through for the sack.
Well, I love that 5'10", 5'11" defensive lineman, that explosion, that played with a good pad level. South Carolina State had a guy, Javon Hargrave, here that played that wasn't too much bigger than that.
And there's the boot. And Caden High fair catches it at the 45. Bulldog fans want a flag, but I think that was incidental running into him. So once again, Bulldogs have an opportunity here to go up 2 scores. Look at this field position. They get the sack, force the punt, and now they're inside Aggie territory at the 46.
Yeah, but at this point, they got to quit having these empty exchanges inside the red zone. You know, we got to come out of the store with something this time. We can't just go through the store and go down the aisles and don't buy something. We got to get some kind of points on this drive.
So 1st and 10 for Eric Phoenix. Look who's back out at running back, KZ Adams. He's been the guy primarily in this second half, although Duhart has had a couple of series at running back. This is KZ going to get the ball here. Breaks the tackle at the 40, still on his feet, 35. Spins down to the 30-yard line. About a 15-yard run on 1st and 10 for KZ Adams. Up tempo. Going no huddle, but now they look to the sideline. Getting back on the line quickly. 1st and 10, ball at the 30. Phoenix having to look to the sideline again, and now Keyshawn Toney is getting back in position. He's moving over to the right side of the line. Play action fake, throws, and that's a sliding grab. Is that Caden? Yes, Caden High with a sliding grab inside the 25. Caden High, just fun to watch.
He is fun.
Very animated.
And exciting.
Second down and 5. Picked up a little more yards than I thought he did. Bunch tight formation. Handoff near side. This is at the 20. 15, that's Caden High, and he's forced out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Bulldogs back inside the 10. 1st and goal.
I tell you what, when we were on the Zoom call with Coach Berry, he was high on number 0, Caden High, and now I see why.
Thanks, Dr. Seuss. 3 receivers left. And this is going to be Duhart pounding his way, gets free into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. DeAndre Duhart, his 2nd touchdown of the night. (30-17).
And watch this replay here. Watch how many guys he ran through. 1 tackle, 2 tackles. 2.5 right there on the goal line.
Oh, this is a good shot here on the other end.
Of just power running.
Yeah. Tell you, notice Duhart, really great downfield vision for a back. Alex for the extra point. And that is good. 31-17 with 1:07 remaining here in the third. And we will stay right here as Duhart gets into the end zone for the second time tonight. Take a look at that. Coming in 18 points per game, which was fifth in the MEAC, 31 points today. And, people have to understand at this level, you're playing much tougher competition in those first 3-4 weeks of the season.
Right, you played a FAMU team on the road.
Yep.
In a hostile environment. You played a good Citadel team, and you played Georgia Southern, which is one of the smaller FBS schools. So you played some good competition. 18 and a half points, to be honest with you, against that competition, to me, is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, 22-18 loss to A&M, then the 23-20 win over the Citadel, and as you mentioned, 42-14 against Georgia Southern. But that 42-14, a little deceiving. South Carolina State played a really good first half. And I was watching a little bit of that one and listening to Ernest Robinson, the play-by-play radio voice of Bulldogs, saying that that's the first time that he can remember that South Carolina State really hung in there with a good Georgia Southern team. And we got flags coming in. 2 flags now. Appreciate everyone watching. South Carolina State fans and North Carolina A&T fans alike. On ESPN Plus, the MEAC Digital Network. We want to thank our production crew who's done a phenomenal job working together with them this week, making sure we got some good information there for you on this rivalry in both these clubs. Let's see what this flag is on.
Look like a penalty against North Carolina A&T. They're asking Coach Berry, do he want to decline the penalty, which must means that it might have to be a re-kick if he takes the penalty.
We can circle back to Coach Chennis Berry while we're waiting to see what the officials call this. When the job search was happening and the name of Chennis Berry started to come up, of course, he's an hour down the road in Columbia doing what he did with Benedict, 27-7, multiple conference titles, just dominated in the regular season. This is no disrespect to any of the candidates that may have interviewed. It just seemed like a no-brainer, right?
It was a fit.
Yeah, it was a good fit.
I know there was a lot of people in the upper brass that really wanted to get him here, and being that Coach Pugh had announced that he was retiring, that kind of gave them some leeway to start looking for that guy.
Yeah.
And I just think, it was the right hand and the right glove, that actually fit, and to come right down the road, to be the guy that he is, to bring the discipline piece that he brought, I just think that it was a home run hire for South Carolina State.
And I think further driving home the point, that opening press conference when he was introduced as the Bulldog coach was so impressive. And you just knew, just the opening minutes of him talking about being grateful and thankful for the opportunity and what he hopes to bring to the Bulldog culture, you knew right away it was going to be a good fit.
And he understands the history of South Carolina State, which is important. You have to come in this place and you have to know the Buddy Pughs of the world. You have to know the Willie Jeffries of the world. So he embraced both of those guys and allows these guys to pretty much have access to his practices, have access to the office, and still be around and be a part of the program.
It's tough being the guy following the guy.
Exactly.
Buddy Pugh did it with Willie Jeffries, and now Chennis Berry hopes to do it with Buddy Pugh. So they re-kick, and it is a touchback. 31-17 is your score, and we will see what the Aggies do and how they try to answer and come back from 2 touchdowns down, largest lead of the game for South Carolina State.
Well, we don't. It's the third quarter now, so we don't want to use must score at this point. But it's getting important to get some kind of drive together, to get something, so at least be able to flip the field at this point.
So a little confusion here pre-snap as Bombi gets him in position. There's a throw, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Take a look at Aaron Smith. Good to see him back. He got rattled a little bit earlier in the game. Bombi and the Aggie offense back out. And here's the handoff near side. Breaks a couple of tackles before he's brought down at the 30. Brings up a manageable third down.
All right, Tyler. It's 3rd and 4. You can see the run play there. Great fit. Good job. You know, I often like to talk about running backs when that stick they put in the ground. I mean, that right there was a great example of seeing a little daylight, sticking your foot in the ground and getting vertical and giving yourself a chance to have a manageable third down conversion.
Slots open. Receivers calling for it. Now he goes in motion. 3rd and 4. See what Bombi dials up. Looking, pressured, throws, and that's a catch and a first down. And he's brought down at the 45-yard line. Quick pitch and catch for the Aggies as Amonte Jones. First time we've called Amonte's name out of Chesapeake, Virginia. And we got a timeout. Check that. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll send it to the 4th. South Carolina State 31, North Carolina A&T 17 on the MEAC. Start of the 4th. Tyler Cup, Demetrius Davis on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. 31-17. Bulldogs on top. Aggies do have the football with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. Will be a handoff straight ahead. Not much there. 2nd down and 10. We do have stats after the 3 quarters. How about this? 131 yards rushing for the Bulldogs and a sneaky 270 yards passing for Aaron Phoenix. Justin Palmy has 154 yards with those 2 touchdowns thrown. Javon Dillard, 3 catches for 68 yards. He leads all Aggies. Caden High leads all Bulldog receivers with 7 catches for 111 yards. Handoff straight ahead, and that is a face mask. Every flag thrown by the officials. That was Aaron Smith. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that might be the epitome of personal foul face mask.
Are you saying that's what they put a picture of in the dictionary?
Yeah, when they're doing the referee
the
clinics.
Football dictionary, yeah. Referee clinics, yeah. They show film of that one. Yeah, that's a tough one for Aaron Smith. He obviously knows better.
They'll shoot that up on the slide and they'll say, well, you know, you have a 5-yard and then you have a 15-yarder. This is what I'm about to show you guys. This is the 15-yarder.
And listen, in football, you're just trying to get somebody down, and the incidental can turn like that.
And it happens.
Yep, certainly does. And Aaron Smith knew it immediately as you saw him clap his hands in frustration. So, 1st and 10 inside Bulldog territory at the 39 for the Aggies. Oh, a little reverse here. Homemade, and it's immediately closed up by Aaron Smith. He makes the tackle inside the 35-yard line. Take a look at the replay.
You look inside reverse. Aaron does a good job of sniffing it out and running sideline to sideline and making a tackle.
Well, just one-on-one. 2nd down and 5. Play action fake, throws to the tight end, and he's upended for a short gain. Gerard Washington got an injured Aggie on the field. That is the tight end, Nicholas Dobson, the 6'3 senior at a teaching North Carolina. So an injury timeout here, 31-17. Bulldogs lead the Aggies. We will step aside on the MEAC Digital Network on ESPN+. Aggies with the football in Bulldog territory out of the timeout. The injured player was able to get up on his own power, and that is a quick pass and catch and brought down. Tackle made by the Bulldogs. That was Tyler Jones. Had it Chapin. Good, strong American first name.
You like that Tyler name, don't you?
I do. We share it. Had a Dutch Fork High. A couple of state championships there with the great Tommy Knotts. Still rocking that mohawk.
Still got his mohawk. Still got an undefeated team also.
He certainly does. Back to pass this. Fomby going to fire this one into the end zone. Oh, what a grab, but he couldn't bring it in. Looked like he almost had a crack at it to bring it in, but that would have been an unbelievable catch if he secured that one.
That would have definitely probably been a top 10 on ESPN Sports Center. Great diving catch, too.
Oh, it was in his hand, but that would have been absolutely remarkable if he would have secured that. There ain't no doubt about it. That was Amani Jones.
But you know, Tyler, if is probably one of the most powerful words in the dictionary. one of the smallest and most powerful.
Yeah. If and woulda, coulda, shoulda. Hand off, and how about this? Bulldogs stand up and brings them down. Might be a loss on the play. As you see some celebration there with Bulldog John Hannibal out of Hopkins, one of those Benedict Tigers. He made a play earlier in the first half.
He did. They list John at 6'3", 315 pounds, so that's a big human being down on the D-line.
There was a loss of one. 3rd down and 11. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Bulldogs spread out. Back to passes, Fomby. Now he's got to escape, and he's tripped up at the 25-yard line. Going to be well shy of the first down yard marker. Good job of that defensive line collapsing on the O-line, forcing Fomby to scramble. Shot Hall gets credit with the tackle as they announced over the PA. So 4th down, a little out of range for the kicker. They're going to go for it. Also, you're down 2 scores. Field goal doesn't do you much here with 11:18 remaining. Back to pass. Going to fire this one down the near side, and that is incomplete. Oh, boy. Step for step down the near side. That's Washington. I tell you, Washington's had a good second half, too.
Yeah, that was a great job there of being in his hip pocket. And the reason why there was no flag, when his eyes turned, his eyes came back, too. So normally you see that when they're looking at each other.
31-17, Bulldogs on top. They'll get the ball. Good route by Carter, too. And gets out of bounds just inside Aggie territory at the 49. 1st and 10. Bulldogs looking for the dagger here, D. 2 receivers left, 1 right. DeAndre Duhart gets the handoff at the 40. Still on his feet and then brought down. He actually ran into one of his blockers.
Right.
If he would have bounced it maybe outside, he could have had a crack at going the rest of the way. Let's take a look at the replay.
Just a little inside zone play there. He does a great job of getting downhill, trying to read the block there and couldn't figure out, do I need to go right or do I go left? So he just went straight ahead.
It's a 1st down run. Phoenix with the ball. He's going to be brought down. That will go down as a sack for the Aggies. Trying to see who that was on the backside. Yeah, that was Javon Armstrong Grady out of New Bern, North Carolina. This is random, but I've done baseball in New Bern.
We're good.
It's a good payday. Back to pass is Phoenix. A little screen pass, and that's incomplete.
It was intended for Najee Carter. You can see the little screen. I was ready. I was hoping that was Caden High right there because I wanted to say the ball was a little too high for Caden High. So they messed me all up on that.
I gave you a complex, didn't I? I dropped the Dr. Seuss bomb, the rhyme after rhyme, and I gave you a complex. My apologies. 3rd down and 12. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Look at this. First time the Bulldogs have gone 5 wide. Third down and 12. They need the 26. Phoenix going to roll to his left at the 40. Scampers 35. Forced out of bounds at the 30. And he's going to be just shy of the first down. And this will be an interesting decision. You've hit a 43-yarder.
Yeah, this one would be closer to 48.
Yep.
Ball is spotted on the 31.
So you might be just a little out of range there. As you take a look at Coach Chennis Berry, he's keeping his offense on the field.
Don't blame him there. You're kind of in that gray area there. So if you do get a punt, you're probably going to kick it in the end zone.
Empty backfield. Phoenix, the pass over the middle to Keyshawn Toney, wide open at the 20 down to the 15-yard line. Move those chains, South Carolina State.
See South Carolina State going with the empty formation there to kind of spread them out, and that give you an opportunity to get some open throwing lanes there.
Yeah, middle of the field was wide open. Toney took advantage. Empty backfield again. 3 receivers right, 2 to the near side. Throws. That is caught at the 10. 5. Does he get into the end zone? No signal yet. Touchdown, South Carolina State. And it's Jakari Caldwell. His 2nd touchdown reception. Check that, Anaj Carter. I said Jakari Caldwell. That's the other team, dummy. Anaj Carter with the touchdown.
Great job of him catching the ball in the flat and getting upfield. I've been impressed. I really have with the receivers catching the ball and sticking their foot in the ground and getting upfield and getting positive yards.
37-17. Spot kick, and that is good. Bulldogs. 38. Aggie 17. Anaj Carter with the touchdown reception. 38-17. All Bulldogs in this second half. It was tied at 10 at halftime. And
Correct.
A lot of scoring here. That's going to be a touchback, 1st and 10 for the Aggies. Okay, so your coach Vincent Brown on the sideline for the Aggies. This is tough. Down 3 touchdowns with just under 8 to play.
Well, you can't say the game is over because it's not. You know, you got to get some plays, though. But sooner or later, the clock is going to go against you. So if you're going to score, you need to score fast. Right now, South Carolina thinking bend but don't break. Keep people in front of you. And if they do score, just make them use up a 3 or 4 minutes to score.
So more than likely, a lot of passing, possibly no huddle the rest of the way out here for Fomby and the Aggies. 4 down lineman for the Bulldogs. Actually, they're going to run it right up the middle, trying to catch the Bulldogs sleeping in pass defense. And a nice run up the middle to make it a manageable 2nd down and short.
And I was going to say that, too. Or you can run it, you know. Hey, go to show you what we know.
Pass, Fomby looking, throwing. Got the first down, forced out of bounds. And that is Caldwell far side. He caught the touchdown for the Aggies earlier in that first half. Or wide. Handoff straight ahead, and down he goes inside Bulldog territory. little interesting here. Aggies up tempo, but they are running the football, picking up manageable second and short situations.
Right. So now you can actually take shots down the field with the vertical pass, knowing that you can just run the ball to get the first down.
Flagship fake. Fomby looking downfield, but he's being chased. Escapes out of the pocket, rolling right. Throws deep, incomplete, but flags are down.
That's normally in some kind of holding on the defense.
And it was. Good call. So South Carolina State trying to hold off this rally here by the Aggies going downfield. The penalty is going to put them inside the 45 there and give them a new set of downs, 1st and 10. 6:41. And off straight ahead to the back. And another good gain. A little sense of urgency now as they start to get to the line a little quicker. Time is not on their side. Boy, now they're taking everything in the play clock here. Back to pass. Fomby throws this deep, far side, and that is incomplete. Tell you what, Demetrius, Washington's played a great second half on coverage. These DBs for South Carolina State, they have been tested a lot tonight.
They have been, and fundamentally they've been unbelievable at playing the ball and looking around and making sure they get their head around.
Yeah.
So great job of coaching fundamentals there to make sure you don't get a PI.
3rd down and 6. Long 5. 3 wideouts. Bulldog DBs look a little confused back there in coverage. Going to throw this one deep. Got a man, and it's incomplete. That was an awkward position for the receiver, looking up and then over his shoulder. And it brings up 4th and 5. Aggies will go for it. That was Javon Dillard.
You had a step. A little bit of pressure made Fomby have to, get rid of it a little fast there, which allowed the DBs to be beat, but the ball was long foul ball again.
Under 6 to play, 4th and 5. Last gas here for the Aggies. Little crossing route, and that is caught for the first down. Well, yeah, that's good enough. Yep. They move the sticks.
Pretty favorable spot.
Mm-hmm. Thomas Brown on the reception. Pass is complete over the middle inside the 20. And a collision there on I-26. Receiver trying to secure that ball. Is he hurt? No, he's okay. That was Amani Jones.
Yeah, I think both of them was fighting for the ball. But anytime it's a tie there, the offensive guy always get the reception.
Now under 5 to play. Aggies are driving, but they got a lot of work to do down 3 scores. Here comes the DB blitz. Rushing for the backside. And it's a pitch and catch and a tackle made.
So if you're South Carolina State here, even though you're giving up some yardage, that clock is steady ticking. So right now, giving up yards, all sickness is not death. If you can just keep them from scoring here.
It was a catch made by Cortez Lane, a Camden product. played at Camden High and Cardinal Newman. And he's here at North Carolina A&T. I was told by some Camden friends, I might see Cortez today, and there he was. Pitch and a catch. Down inside the 5-yard line. Going to be first and goal for the Aggies. And that was Watkington on the tackle. Dillard on the catch.
Yeah, you talk about Cortez Lane. He had a brother. I can't remember his first name. Lane that played Lewis Lane. That played running back.
Oh, yeah.
And was a very, very good player.
Electric running back. Played in the state championship for Camden. Lost to Daniel. I called that game. He was a really fun player. (38-17), 3:40 remaining, second and goal. Aggies get up to the line. Second and goal, trying to punch it in here. Bombi with the rush, throws, caught, touchdown, Aggies. And that is Jakari Caldwell for 6. Jakari Caldwell with a second touchdown reception.
You watch Bombi stand in his pocket and takes a shot there.
Yes, he did. So extra point. Are they going for 2 here? Offense is on the field to go for 2. To make it a 13-point game. Right? 2-point attempt. Throws, and it's incomplete. 38-23 with 3:34 remaining. Oh, boy, flags everywhere. I missed the contact on that. Wonder if we'll get a replay. Pass interference on the defense, so they'll get another crack at it.
Let's see here. We got replay here. What did we just talk about? He didn't get his head around.
Yep.
So that's the difference.
Yep.
Good defense. He was in his pocket, but didn't get a chance to get his head around. So that's when the pass interference come into play there.
Jalen Levine. Flags and fake, throws, and that is caught for the 2-point conversion. And that is Javon Dillard to make it 38-25 with 3:34 left in this fourth quarter. Aggies still have a prayer. Took a little too much time off the clock, but they do get the touchdown, and they will attempt the onside kick, I'd imagine.
So, Tyler, put your coach's hat on now. What you do? You kick the ball deep, play defense, you have 2 timeouts, or do you go onside kick here?
It took a long time to score there. Think about, 4 minutes off the clock, 5 minutes? Take a look at Chennis Berry. I think you onside kick it.
I think you have to.
Yeah, because look at how South Carolina State played in that last possession. They were extremely aggressive with the ball, up 2 scores. Went down and got into the end zone. That Elijah Carter touchdown reception. They went 5 wide a couple of times in that drive. Onside kick, hands team there. Bulldogs secure it.
Yeah, that onside kick is recovered by the Bulldogs.
Tyler Smith. Out of Gaffney. Or, as some call it in that part of the state, Big Gaffney.
Big Gaffney. Reservation.
That's right. Had my first trip to the reservation in my 20-year career calling high school football just last year.
Okay.
Oh, what an awesome place. Your guy, former South Carolina State Bulldog Bobby Collins, called a South Point Gaffney game last year, and even he was in awe because he had not been to the new reservation as they've redone that stadium. DeAndre Duhart gets the carry and down at the 45. 38-25, and the Bulldogs going for history here. Going to snap a streak. If they can hold on 3 more minutes, they haven't defeated North Carolina A&T in 7 tries. They lead the all-time series, but Aggies have dominated the last 7 meetings. Handoff near side. Duhart brought down at the 40. It's going to be a good game on the ground for South Carolina State before it's all said and done. Duhart runs to 100 yards. KZ Adams with about 60 yards. Caden High, 20 yards rushing. You're talking close to 200 yards on the night. Clock running, 2:25. A&T with 2 timeouts. Not going to use them just yet. Oh, going to pass here. Phoenix drops back, throws Caden High at the 20, 15, 10, 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. There is your dagger. Aggressive
play calling.
Caden High. Phoenix.
Great job of Eric stepping up in the pocket. I was just about to say that and throwing it to Caden High, and he says, "You know what? Just give me the ball. I can do the rest of it."
Caden High with the dagger, and he caps off a great night. He had 111 at the half. He might have well over 150 yards receiving. Spot kick, and that is good. Bulldogs with the dagger, 45-25. We'll be back to finish it up on the ESPN. The dagger, 2 minutes to play. Hey, what a play call. Dialed up by Coach Dennis Berry. You know, running the ball, eating clock, 3rd down and short. And you pass the Caden on that little crossing route, kind of a deeper crossing route, and he took it the rest of the way. Caught at the 5, set up a return. Yeah, that's one thing the Bulldogs have done very well that we haven't really talked about. Coming into this game, the Aggies were the strongest part of their team was probably special teams, or at least the most consistent part, and they have kind of taken the special teams out of it. Bulldogs have won the field position game and have kept the Aggies from breaking it for some big returns.
Yeah, and if you coach Berry in South Carolina State, you know, you still have a lot of film you can watch and get some corrections done. So it feels good to be able to make corrections with a W, but it's still a lot of work to be done.
Two receivers left, 2 right. Out of the shotgun snap. This is Womby evading the pressure. Throws it to the back, and he's immediately taken down, but does pick up a big gain up to the 35. So now it's no huddle the rest of the way. Trying to get another score on the board to make this look respectable. Over the middle, and that's incomplete. Aggies have led in the last 10 meetings 8-2, but again, the last 7 have gone to A&T. And this is a Bulldog program back on the rise with Coach Dennis Berry at the helm in his first year. And what a way to kick off the home opener, the Dennis Berry era, in front of this great fan support. Some of them have headed to the cars, back to the tailgate, but great crowd here today.
And I talked to a couple of coaches before the game, and they talked about how many fans showed up to the Bulldog Walk today. They brought the Bulldog Walk back earlier today and talked about the band and the amount of fans that actually showed up for the Bulldog Walk.
And that's going to be a sack for South Carolina State. And that is a shot Hall out of St. Petersburg, Florida. We've called his name a couple of times. He was in the starting lineup and came in with 10 tackles and a couple of tackles for loss. Give him a sack on that one. 45-25. And third down and a bunch. Interesting call. Just run it up the middle. And will they go for it here on fourth down? I imagine it would be the last play of the game unless they pick up the first down, maybe call a timeout. Aggies are going to... Okay, are they going to call a timeout here? You can't take them back with you. 17 seconds left, and that might do it. I think they're going to head back to the sidelines, and that'll do it. 45-25 for the first time in 7 meetings. The Bulldogs are on top. They knock off the North Carolina A&T Aggies 45-25. And the start of the Chennisberry era here in Orangeburg is off of the right foot.
Yeah, I think if you was talk to Coach right now, I know he's excited. He probably is hoarse right now because I'm pretty sure he's been hollering on the sidelines and things of that nature, seeing some of his pay the fees and do the work and be the mailman.
We'll take a look at our player of the game, and he secured it with the last time he touched the ball, Caden High. Here's the highlight package. He just found a way to get open every time. Eric Phoenix found him quite a bunch.
Yeah, and if I had to characterize him as something today, he's a playmaker. And I see why Coach Berry was so high on this guy, because this guy really is a difference maker when you put the ball in his hands.
10 catches on the night, over 150 yards, including a touchdown that you see right there. Caden High, your player of the game for the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Take it out. Final thoughts, Coach, before we leave Orangeburg.
Well, I'm impressed. I mean, I'll be honest. Coach Berry did what I think he wanted to do. He came out and he wanted the kids to be excited. He wanted a big crowd.